Hey, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. It is Friday, November the 6th, when I am recording this and all of that. So, thank you for joining me, whether it's Friday or whatever day of the week. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, all that kind of stuff. Slight out of order, but it's okay. But in all honesty, thank you all for tuning in to this really awesome conversation we're about to have. As you can tell from the title, um, the goal is to encourage, to strengthen, to inspire, to refresh even one person. If that is accomplished with this video, which I'm sure it will be, then, hey, then we're good. That's the purpose of this conversation. Also, this conversation, there won't be any visuals or any screen sharing that I'll be doing. So you can feel free to listen to me while you drive, while you cook something, while you clean up, or whatever the case may be. You can get some multitasking going on while you listen to this conversation that we are about to have. So let's go ahead and get into it. Today's November the 6th. Really, November the 4th and 5th even, because it was like a two day like ordeal and like whatever with basically the mutual discard between me and the female narc that I've mentioned in prior videos. And so um, this yesterday and the day prior actually marked 5 months since the mutual discard. And so yeah, it was pretty surreal. I don't know if I would even say bittersweet. Um, Man, the way 2020 has gone, if you had if you had told me like even January 10th, forget January 1st, if you had told me even the end of January that 2020 was gonna be as eventful and mind-blowing, heart-wrenching and everything else that it has been in various respects, it's had some positive moments, but it's also been pretty, I guess, ruthless, if you will. But if you had told me even the end of January that as the year progressed, just certain things were going to happen, certain people were going to betray me, etc., like they did, and all of that, like I just would not have believed you. And so here we are, and honestly, I am in such a good place. I'm thankful for so many of you that are tuning in right now. So thankful for you because honestly, many of you are the reason why I even have and even gather the strength over time in recovering from all of the heartache and betrayal, etc., that I experienced with this demon. And so yeah, yeah. So shout out to you all. We'll get to all of that and why and how in a moment. But yeah, definitely once the entire discard happened, um, I really saw who was who. I'd been shown in various ways certain people's tendencies and real character, right? But I guess I just didn't want to believe it in those prior situations that they put me in and otherwise. And so the discard was just like, 2020 has just been a great revealer of people's true ways and all of that. So, um, you know, that has come with the lessons learned and the wisdom and the insight and um, whatever else, hindsight and whatever else. And so, um, yeah, so the discard definitely did a lot of revealing and all of that because the discard that I experienced had several different dynamics to it, as I'm sure others of you can also relate to. But because it was beyond the damage that the female narc, aimed to do, um, through smearing my name, triangulation, and all of that. Um, because of the different dynamics that my discard consisted of, there was like a lot of heartache with it, like, I mean, I had like, and I can't even believe I'm gonna be this transparent with you guys, but I want to be transparent because amidst the down moments and um, the not so good days of this entire like journey and process, etc. I do. I don't know. I just hope that me being as transparent as I'm going to be will, like I said, encourage someone and give them hope, to press on through all that you might be enduring, and I'm sure are enduring, and building resilience through. So like I had sleepless nights. I cried and stuff like that. And again, this wasn't because of what she was doing, what she was saying. Once the phone conversation with her ended, and it literally felt like I was talking to a brick wall, right? Because we know that narcissists, there's no logic with them. There's no logic. So there's no sense in trying to understand any of their ways over time or ever. They have no empathy. Some can pretend to be empathetic, but they don't really have that quality. Okay, and yeah. So once that phone conversation was over, I already somehow had an idea. Now, mind you, I didn't know that she was the narcissistic sociopath that she is. I didn't know that, early June, but I knew something was off, and things were gonna just get interesting or whatever, right? I just knew, and I don't know how I knew, and so yeah, yeah, I had some not so good days, not so good weeks, to be perfectly honest, and all of that. Sleepless nights, just tears, had no appetite. It was just like heartache I've never experienced in my entire life. And so, that was when I started, and I ended up finding myself, I think late one night, researching and, having it kind of put in my spirit to look into narcissism. And of course, it was like the weirdest spiritual download ever, but I'm like, okay. And then I was like, that's what this whole nightmare, that's what this nightmare is. This is what this looks like. And so I was like, wow. And that's when I came eventually, not long after, Google research and whatnot. That's when I came across various YouTube channels like Joy's and Tanya's as well. And then, kind of sat back and, all those live stream chats and stuff like that, and observed and started absorbing even more personal encounters that you guys have had, and otherwise, with your personal stories. This was about mid-June, late June. I initially discovered Tanya and Joy, for instance, here on YouTube and stuff. And so, hey y'all, hey Joy, hey Tanya, okay. And so, yeah, man, I was like, wow. And then, yeah, but I mean, from it all, for the not so good days or what have you, from thinking that I had lost friends, but really several of those people were snakes in the grass anyways. A couple people stand out in mind or come to mind that were snakes in the grass. And as a matter of fact, not only was the smear campaign, some of the smear campaign about me is on YouTube or whatever. Who cares, right? I'm a nobody. I'm a this, I'm a that, one of her flying monkeys and snakes in the grass, she would have him email me. He's emailed me twice. I'm laughing. I did that chuckle just now because I know his snake behind is going to come across this video, and I don't give a damn. So he's emailed me twice, and oh my gosh, sick, twisted, storylines that he put together. Meanwhile, flirting with me, which he's done that before, and I checked him on that mess. Plus, I have taste, so I would never, because I'm not freaking desperate. But he's total garbage, y'all. He's total garbage. Sorry, excuse of the counterfeit man that he is. But anyway, so he emailed me twice on her behalf, right, to try to temperature check me and stuff like that. So yeah, the Hoovers, and I will admit, you're not supposed to answer the Hoovers. I get it, but this person, I had to check him. Plus, I already knew that he was gonna go back and be messier than even some women can be, because that's how he is. I knew he would go back and run tell whatever, so I didn't give a dang, right? And at one point, the very first email, he got me with some sick, twisted storyline that they told, but I caught on and I was like, oh, got it, bet, right? Then he emailed me maybe 8 weeks later. He emailed me, gaslighting me and all. He gaslit me in both emails, made up some sick twisted stuff with her, of course, because they schemed together. But they'd been scheming together against me prior to the betrayal and all that. So he was a snake in the grass and showed himself as such over time, anyways, prior. But nevertheless, and so gaslit me, hoovered me on her behalf, and oh gosh, I don't want to lose my thought, y'all. But yeah, so it's just all very interesting. But yeah, so you're not supposed to answer the Hoover, but I did have to check him and all of that. So, but don't answer the Hoover, you guys. Like, don't even take energy out of your day to do so. They want to get a rise out of you, they being the narcissist, male or female, or both, God forbid. Because, whether friendships, some have siblings, some have parents, some of you guys have coworkers or clients or whatever that are narcissists. So trust me, there are all kinds of dynamics that we each deal with, and I totally get it. Don't ever think that I don't. Okay. So yeah, don't answer the Hoover. No contact really is beyond helpful whenever possible. Because again, also some of you guys have children involved in this entire scheme of a nightmare. And I really feel for you guys, especially those of you guys that have kids with these snakes, creatures, demons, all that they are, combined with those sickening qualities. And so no contact to the max as much as possible, obviously, is much of your best bet, right? To a swifter recovery over time and all of that, because it is all gradual. But making progress and being intentional about making progress spiritually, emotionally, mentally, financially, that's what is very, very important. Because we know that the narcissist it thrives off of being able to control you, deceive you, manipulate you to whatever degree, whether they are your so-called friend, which they're nobody's friend. Let's be honest. They're nobody's friend, okay? And so, yeah, what else? I mean, Instagram. She impersonated me on Instagram, made a whole counterfeit accounts of me. Like I lost my Instagram. I had the Instagram for 6 years, over 6 years, because Instagram support is basically non-existent. So my Instagram of 6+ years was wrongfully disabled and deactivated when I reported her. Like, I mean, I've been through it all. Some of you guys have seen that Instagram account. So I've sent some of you guys a screenshot of this foolishness that she went and did, and then had the audacity with her sick self to follow me and taunt me by following me from that fraudulent account that she basically made in my name. I think she may have made two. I think she may have made two Instagrams in my name because she's that sick and psychotic. What else? I went through my Instagram account situation and having lost and had to restart Instagram all over. What else, y'all? I mean, like I said, I'm sharing my journey post discard to strengthen and encourage someone, So I'm taking this trip down memory lane to help even one person, okay? Because quite frankly, I'd rather not go down this memory lane, but it's all good, as long as it strengthens even one of us, okay? But no, honestly, there's no way. My restored strength, my restored confidence, there's just no way, even 5 months later, that I would be in a much healthier place and all of that, even with so-called friendships, because of what we've endured and are enduring and building resilience through and sustaining resilience through and beyond. I really learned because the space here on YouTube that the female narcissist and her minions used to especially lurk in, I know people from that space, obviously. And so, and anyway, so I found myself initially at the very beginning of it all, confiding in like one or two of them. And, truth be told, they didn't understand. They didn't care to understand. They just wanted some gossip and that type of thing, which is whatever. And they really showed themselves for who they really are. And so, of course, I cut them off or whatever, because they weren't genuine anyways. And they weren't going to help me at all. They just weren't really going to be a friend. And I saw that early on post discard. So I just cut off the fakeness or whatever. And yeah, like I'm so thankful for, like I said, so many of you guys, because we really help to hold each other up hold each other accountable as well. And yeah, just pick up the pieces and really thrive and start thriving again and then some. So yeah, we have to make sure we keep that a central focus of all of this as well. What else? What else? This year as well, not only with discovering the narcissist community and all of that, those of us that are genuinely a part of it and have genuine, desire to help others, and don't have ulterior motives or what have you. I discovered and had to come to grips with the fact that I've been an empath my entire life. Now, because I don't even like labels. I'm not really even like a brand name, like when it comes to clothing and stuff like that. Now, you do get what you pay for, but I'm not like a label whore or whatever else people, whatever the term is and stuff like that. So I'm not really a label person anyways, especially because society, the medical society can mislabel you. I don't have kids like many of you guys do, but ADD, this, that, and the other, certain things are just mislabels, right? And can also be very much badly sown seeds into the psyche, etc., of a person's well-being. So I'm just not really a label person. I'm also not really into buzzwords and I'm just not really into certain trends. I go against the grain quite a bit, and I just really stay true to me in spite of whatever may be trendy, popular, etc., online and let alone offline. So I've heard of the term empath. Never, and I do mean never, really bothered looking into it because I just didn't until, whatever month it was between now and then June or whatever. So in the past few months, I found myself one day, one night, whatever time of day it was, I found myself looking into qualities of an empath, what does it mean to be an empath, stuff like that. I was like, oh, this is what this is. So this whole thing has just been so much self-discovery, on like a level that I've never experienced before, because as if you couldn't tell from prior personal reflection type videos and conversations I've had on my channel before, I really do look at myself periodically and quite often. Okay. I self-check myself a lot. Okay. And so it's very good to develop that level of maturity about yourself, because it just saves you a lot of otherwise embarrassment. It keeps you humble. It just keeps you humble, And so I had to come to terms with the fact that I have empath tendencies. Yeah. And of course, narcissists tend to be attracted to empaths, to drain us, to siphon our souls, to manipulate us, to con us, and all that, right? Because that's what they do. They are definitely top 3 of some of the greatest con artists, scammers, schemers, whatever you want to call them, all of that combined. Okay. And so, yeah. I have empath tendencies. I had to come to grips with that and accept that and embrace it. I've embraced it. Okay. I've embraced it. So that's also been a part of my personal spiritual growth and discovery journey in the past 5 months. Really just overall, this year I've just experienced, I'll get to that in a second, but I've experienced, paramount and very insightful, and I've had a very insightful spiritual and psychological awakening that I had no clue I needed this year, and that will come in handy, not just for me, because this hell and nightmare that I've gone through and I've endured and been resilient through surely has not just been for me. And so it's helped out quite a few of you guys so far. So, I mean, hey, that's what counts. That's what matters to me, so that all this is not in vain. Because if this was all in vain, I don't know what I would do. So, it's not all been in vain. And so it's not all been in vain. And so, yeah, man, I've also definitely, had such a spiritual awakening. There are some supernatural connections and stuff like that I have now that have also helped me so much along the way, to keep me encouraged, to help me make sense of this nightmare I've gone through. They've confirmed so much of not only what's happened, what I'm currently going through, and how I've been restored, thankfully, and also what is to come. So it's been really cool. It's been really cool connecting with, my supernatural friends, if you will, or what have you as well. And I've got quite some supernatural gifts and whatnot, insight and stuff like that as well. So to have so much confirmed on a regular basis from these connections that I've also gained from what was a nightmare initially, from what came off as a nightmare and just unforeseen series of events, etc. I've gained some really cool divine connections. So, thankful for them as well. Thankful for you all, any of you guys that may tune into this video in the future. We're now a little bit over 20 minutes in, so I will be wrapping up the conversation. Hopefully all that I've said has made sense. I have a little outline on my phone of my notes. So hopefully, I've been making sense and everything. But yeah, I especially love how with the narcissist community and family that we have here on YouTube, we've got family on TikTok that we keep uplifted and encouraged, and we're walking through their roads to recovery and all of that. It's just cool. Like Joy and Tani got the TikTok thing going. I'm like, man, like we really are covering all the bases of this thing because so many have suffered. Men, y'all know I got y'all back. Women, I got y'all back for sure because I'm a woman. I am a woman. So yeah, but we have our gentleman targets as well of these female narcissists especially. So it's just cool how we're covering all the bases, especially in the social media space. We have various ones of us that are doing retreats. We're doing meetups around the country, around the world. Like we're really covering all the bases to make sure that lives are touched and changed and transformed inside and out for the better. So that our various series of nightmares are not in vain. And so that we don't find ourselves ever having even the slightest desire to settle to be in such a nightmare again, Yeah. I mean, to relive these sort of nightmares with a whole nother human being. And, if we were, being able to avoid doing such, no way. Like, hell no. Truly hell no. Okay. I have to put it like that. No, we won't be putting ourselves through this nightmare ever again. So it's just good that how we keep each other's self-esteem lifted. We are rebuilding self-esteem. We are establishing self-esteem, if maybe due to just childhood, issues and stuff like that, that maybe became adult ones and followed us into our adulthood. We are establishing self-esteem and self-confidence, which there's no shame in that. But once it gets established, we have to make sure we stay strengthened and firmed and affirmed and built up in that. Hopefully that made sense. But yeah, so yeah, ultimately, man, from this whole everything, okay? Oh my gosh, it just feels so good to laugh. Even yesterday on Telsha's live stream, we had a good time. We had a good time yesterday on yesterday's live stream last night. We had a really good, worthwhile time together. And that's what matters, But yeah, so my life's purpose in ways that I did not know it needed to be added to and would not have chosen the circumstances setting me up for adding to my purpose, wouldn't have chosen the same situations and demonic connections that I had that led to all this. But my life's purpose has definitely been added to, and I will continue to be in this fight alongside those of you guys that I know and narcissistic abuse survivors and all of that to come, targets and all of that to come that I'll connect with, in time after this video has been recorded. And so, yeah, my life's purpose has definitely been added to as a result of having encountered and discovered I was dealing with a narcissist / sociopath for almost a year, because I knew her for almost a year. I've known her for a year now, but prior to June, or as of June, I had known her like 8 months or so. She'd been in my life 8 or 9 months. And so thank God it wasn't longer. And so, yeah, man, as I mentioned, we have grown in so much resilience. I mean, I developed a level and degree of resilience I never thought I would need this lifetime from all of this. But nevertheless, I mean, hopefully I put a smile on you all's face. Hopefully I encourage you quite a bit. Hopefully I've encouraged you quite a bit with this conversation That was the goal. That was the purpose of me even sitting down to do this video and conversation. And definitely share this out. Share this out as much as possible. If anything I've said resonated with you, be sure to comment below. I want to hear from you for sure. You know, I talk back with you. So yeah, don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. Those of you guys who don't comment regularly or even every so often, don't be a stranger on my channel. Yeah, I'm simply me. I'm as genuine as they come. And we're in this together. We are truly in this together. So again, thank you all for tuning in. And we'll be having more conversations like this over time. And yeah, so stay tuned. I hope you have an amazing day, afternoon, evening, amazing weekend if the weekend's coming up when you do tune into this video. And yeah, let's continue to take care of ourselves mentally, spiritually, and otherwise. Yeah. And let's continue to take care of ourselves on a personal basis, but let's also continue to look out, be mindful of our neighbor who may also be going through this, or who we know is going through this. Yeah, let's continue to cover each other so well, like we've already been doing. Love you guys so much. I'm so thankful for you. I almost could cry closing out this video, just thinking about how you guys have got me through so much. But y'all not gonna break me down on this video. Y'all not gonna break me down. Love you guys so much. I appreciate you. And we'll connect again soon. My name is Adrena Monet, and I'm signing off. Thank you.